guys, Prowl 1701 here. Today I'm going to briefly talk about episode 2 of Image of the Fendahl. Didn't quite grab me as much as episode 1, but I still liked it. The resolution of the cliffhanger with Leela almost getting shot was kind of a little too easy. You forgive me, my sinuses are still acting up. I don't know why the guy, if he thought someone was out there, would walk out there holding the long gun like this. So, of course, Leela was able to wrestle it away from him. Just seemed a little too easy for me. I still love everything going on with the story. It's neat how the skull feels like a character. Just the skull itself. There's something about how it's shot. With it just sitting there, it has this ominous feel to it. Even when it's not glowing, much more so when it is glowing. But it feels like its own character in the story. Like you're just inherently wary of it. Maybe a little scared of it. It's pretty neat. The cliffhanger with the doctor when he puts his hand on it. Was that the cliffhanger? Yeah, that was the cliffhanger for this one, wasn't it? When he puts his hand on it and he's like, that's a cool cliffhanger. When it's even got the doctor sitting there, that's a cool cliffhanger. I actually like that cliffhanger a lot. Again, the guest cast are a mixed bag. I am liking the woman playing Thea, who, is that Benedict Cumberbatch's mom? For some reason, I'm thinking that's Benedict Cumberbatch's mom. I could be wrong. I know she's in an episode of Doctor Who. I just can't remember if it's her or not. She's good. I like her. I like the guy playing Fendahl. He's really good. The actor's playing him as this kind of really determined, almost workaholic guy. Like he's just focused in on this goal and that's all he sees, trying to figure it out. He's one of those guys that if he has a puzzle in front of him, he's got to put all the pieces into place. I really like the actor playing him. Now, the actor playing his right-hand man, who, as we learn in episode 2, is kind of in on what's going on. David might be his name. Not really into him a lot. He's just kind of, eh. And then the actor playing the other main kind of lab guy, the one that's kind of close with Thea, his actor's kind of meh, to be honest, as well. I thought the scene with the old woman when it's doing that close-up of her and she's talking about fear and being afraid, I thought that worked. Usually I don't like close-up of somebody talking to the camera, especially when it goes on that long. But the longer it stayed on her, the more it worked for me. I guess just the actress was putting in a good performance. But that did actually sell me on it. I did like the little bit of foreshadowing when the doctor comments on Fendahl's name, because he's already realized Fendahl creatures are there. Because that scene when he saw Thea on the ground and she started glowing, you kind of see him on her. That was a cool effect, by the way, the special effect for that. And two, the doctor realizing what it was from kind of the Time Lord's own mythology and immediately realizing the danger. So when he meets Fendahl, he makes some comment on his name. I can't remember if it's like nice name or something like that, or that's a name. He makes a comment on his name being Fendahl, which is some nice foreshadowing for stuff we learned later in the story. So I kind of like that, even though, again, he doesn't draw much attention to it. He just comments on it and moves on like the Fourth Doctor does. So I enjoyed it. That's really all I have to say. It's actually been like 2 or 3 days since I watched part 2. I cannot shake this sinus infection at all. I had watched part 1 and part 2 the same day Wild Blue Yonder came out. I watched part 1, reviewed part 1. Right after I watched part 1, immediately watched Wild Blue Yonder, reviewed Wild Blue Yonder. Took a break, watched part 2, and by then my voice had given out. So it's a few days later and I'm doing part 2 now. And that's kind of just what sticks in my head for part 2. Liking it. I do like Image of the Fendahl. But part 2 just didn't quite stand out to me the way part 1 did so far. So we'll be reviewing part 3 shortly. I want to know what you think of part 2 of Image of the Fendahl. So comment down below and let me know. Don't forget to click the like button as well. And down in the description, all the other stuff, links to the Patreon, links to the Amazon wish list, the Amazon UK wish list, and my P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. I want to give a shout out to Simon, because Simon did send this to me so I can watch it. I do have a region-free player, so I can watch the UK DVDs as well. I'm in the States, so I certainly appreciate Simon sending it. He's also one of my patrons, and he's been a huge supporter of the channel as well. I want to give a shout-out to some of my other top-tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Perkins. I do appreciate their continued support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. Most importantly, thank you for watching.